Today I want to talk about success versus fulfillment. My great mentor, Tony Robbins, talks about the difference between the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. How there really is a science to achievement and success, but being fulfilled is an art. And you know, there's really nothing worse than being a financial success but not being happy. Fulfillment gives you that happiness. What causes you to be fulfilled is different for everybody. What makes you feel fulfilled is not what it is for me. But there is one universal means to fulfillment, which I'll talk about in a minute. You know, I've had lots of ups and downs in my life, and what I'm about to tell you, I'm not telling you to brag, but all I can use as an example for this is really my own story. And I'm hoping that I can inspire you and, you know, add some richness and fullness to your life. So I'll tell you, at one point about 10 years ago, I thought I'd reached the pinnacle of success. You know, I'd always dreamed about having this big house on the beach, and you know, I had this $8 million house, literally, that I'd built. In fact, I can actually see it. It's right across from my current residence, right across on the island over there. And I'd always wanted a Maserati and a Lamborghini, and I had all that stuff because I thought that's what was important. So here I am floating in this pool right over there that I can see from right here. I'm floating in this pool, looking up at this giant testament to my ego, and I realized I was depressed. And I'm thinking, how can I have all this and be depressed? And when I look back on it now, I realized there were two things going on. One was I'd achieved this massive goal. I'd wanted this place on the beach forever, and I'd achieved this massive goal, and I thought to myself, is this all there is? And I needed a vision for the future, and I had not set up other goals yet. I needed to have another large goal. You know, like the good book says, without a vision, the people perish. And those of you that have listened to my other Driving Force episodes know that you should never achieve a goal without having other goals lined up. But that's not the purpose of this story. That's not what I'm going to talk about today. I also found out later that there was something else going on. I wasn't fulfilled. Like I said, success is a science, but feeling fulfilled is an art. Now I'm going to share something with you. If you do this, will always make you feel fulfilled. What I'm going to share with you is that you have to contribute beyond yourself. You need to help other people. Everything in this universe either contributes or it's eliminated. You know, it has to contribute in some fashion. For humans, contribution is actually a basic human need. Unfortunately, it's a pretty underutilized need. Now I'm going to tell you my story about giving back and really what it's meant to me. My story started about 16, 17 years ago. I decided to feed a family for the holidays. I actually decided to feed 5 families. So this was in Denver at the time. My brother and I decided to feed 5 families for Thanksgiving it was. We went out and bought 5 turkeys. We bought baskets of food, boxes of food. And I'll tell you, what changed my life is the third house that I went to. I went up to this house, and it was one of these shotgun houses where literally you walk into the living room, you walk through the bedroom to get to the kitchen, and the bathroom was off the kitchen. And there was a woman with 5 children, and her husband had literally just left her like a day or two before then. So she comes out of the house and she sees this big box of food and the turkey, and she starts crying. And then all 5 of her children come out and they start crying, and I was hooked. The next year I fed 50 families here in Florida. Then I did 100, and I doubled it every year, 200, 400, 800, 1,600. To date now, we've fed 50,000 children over the last 16, 17 years for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I've also, I'll tell you a story. One time, and what we do is we do these big baskets of food, and we wrap them up like a giant present, and we deliver them to the family. And we put a little card on there that says, "This is from someone that loves you. We hope that you can do this for someone else someday," to pay it forward. And that's it. We just pretend we're the delivery person. And it's been so rewarding for myself, for my volunteers. But I'll tell you, one time we brought it up to a house. A volunteer told me this actually, that she'd brought a basket up to a house, and a 9-year-old girl answered the door, and she saw the basket that was wrapped, and she said, "Is this from Santa Claus?" And the volunteer was smart enough to say, "I don't know, maybe." And the little girl said, "I knew it. I asked him so Mommy wouldn't have to work." And that's why we do this. And talk about fulfillment. And then we've now, in the last few years, we've done thousands of backpacks filled with school supplies. We've done thousands of teddy bears that I give to police departments. Now, you don't have to do anything on that scale. The podcast that I do is another way that I'm giving back, like my foundation. By the way, my foundation is called the Tiny Hands Foundation. And it's given me incredible joy. But you don't have to go to that level. Anything you do that gives back to anyone is a blessing. If you can't do something massive or you can't do anything even financially, go help an old person. Even if you ask, you go to a store and you ask the clerk in the store, the person serving you in a restaurant, how they're doing. Add value to them. You can decide to smile at everybody you walk by today. Give the gift of a smile or a kind word. And when people say what you give comes back to you tenfold, I'm here to tell you it is absolutely the truth. Remember, life is not just about financial success. It's about being happy and fulfilled. I'm Rod Khleif, wishing you incredible passion and massive success in your business and in your life.